Alright, welcome back, and this morning let's draw another House of the Dragon character since it's such a cool show. Let's draw Daemon here, which is a really cool character, and it's got such a great look. You know, perfect look for this kind of setting, I think. Really good makeup on him, and the hair looks kind of cool. Alright, so let's draw this, and I'm gonna continue to use my 6B. And let's see, maybe I'll draw a little bit smaller, might be a little bit faster. Because the Rhaenyra one actually took me a while. Alright, so to draw this, a little bit of slant on his face, on his head. So I'll just draw a little line like this. And this is where the eye is going to be. So let's just go ahead and draw, let's say about that size. A little bit smaller. Okay, so let's see. Let's start in the corner of this eye. It's got really cool eye sockets here, which gives him this sinister look. So I'm just going to sketch. So this is the kind of the eye socket area, and here is the eyeball. Okay, so let's see. This is the highlight right here. So I'm just gonna go a little bit lighter. Let's try it this way with a 6B. Maybe I'll just start shading and drawing. Let's see how that goes. Right here, slightly deeper right here. So this comes down right here. This is pretty dark right here. Again, it's very deep eye socket. Okay, let's try that. Underneath. So I'm very light on my pencil, barely kind of looking back and forth. Looking here, I have the reference right in front of me here. Yeah, I'm just going back and forth. Trying to be a little bit looser this time. Draw that, and then the eye across. Let's draw some of the nose first, because this will help me judge the distance to the other eye. So here's the shadow, and the shadow, if you look down, it's almost straight down. It's almost a vertical shadow here. Yeah, like a vertical line, I mean. Let's come across here. So there is a slant going up here. Let me rough in the eye shape first. Let's see if that's accurate, and then I'll continue to shade. Let's say about that, and I'm just kind of stepping back, try to look at it. Corner here. Okay. Okay, close enough. Let's just keep going. My throat is really bad this morning. Always tend to get allergies in the morning. Not a good thing to have if you're trying to make videos. There's actually a sharp highlight right on the white of the eye, so that's gonna take some very delicate shading right there. But let's just keep going, and so I'm turning my pencil just to get that little bit of harder edge right there. Brow. Okay, let's come back up here. Let's give this more definition here. Okay, let's come down here to the nose. So let's see, here's the corner of the eye. If I come straight down, it's gonna be the wings of the nose. And I'm gonna look at this angle right here. Probably somewhere right here. Okay. And then for this one, if I come down, somewhere here. All right, let's just go with that. The thing with male face is it's a little bit easier to draw, you know, it's like even if you miss the lightness, because the features are bolder, it's a little bit more forgiving. So let's just go with it. All right, so let's come back up here. I want to do some more shading before I move on to the rest of the face, because I think this part is a lot more fun. So the white of the eye, there are none because it's in the shade. So I'm going to darken that first. Let's just establish that. And then the eyeball here, let's just go for it. Dark here. Very dark here. So all this is kind of dark too, so we can give that a shade. I mean, of course, there's a cheekbone here, but we can. It's still it's a darker area. There's really no hot highlights there. I'm trying to look back and forth here. And there's a police siren outside, if you guys can hear that. Okay. So right here, here's the Terminator. The light's hitting here. So you want to make the Terminator just a little bit darker. That way it's going to give this area right here a much nicer bounce light. So you get white here, and then light falls off, and then right here is all bounce light. So by exaggerating the Terminator, what you do is you kind of give it a little bit more bounce, a little bit more life in the shadows and stuff. So it just looks way more interesting than try to shade it exactly. Okay, let's come in and draw in this eye. The highlight here is really small. Okay, again, the highlight and the white of the eye is a little tricky, because it's gotta be really light. You don't make this too dark. Corner of the eye, corner. There's a lower lid there that we can see. So the bag underneath, the socket area, this part's darker. It's lighter here. Okay, so let's come down and draw in more of the nose. The nose is cool. Again, very pronounced. So here is the Terminator. And then here's the highlight. It's gonna come down here. So I can actually draw that, and let me shade around it. Oops, I think there's a highlight on the bottom I totally missed. Take that out. There's a very sharp highlight here, which is really important. And on the nose right here as well. Highlight here, and then here's the wings of the nose. Let's come down here. There's a little bit dark underneath. And here is the terminator for the nose again. We can exaggerate that. And then now let's draw in this side here. Let's just give this one shade and then shade in some more here. So let's see, darker here. Here's the cheekbone. This part right here is slightly darker as well. So there's like a little ball right here. This is darker around the nose, and let's come down here. Looks like my nose is a little bit off. It needs to come out more. Looks like it's twisted this way. Yeah, it's a little strange here. Okay, let's shade some more. Maybe I can fix this. It's starting out kind of messy, actually. Missing the highlights here. All right, very messy drawing. Let's hope it gets a little bit better. So what happens is, you know, I'm sketching a little bit quicker than usual. I just kind of going for it. So some of the things could be off. That's just part of the process, I guess, until I can get it right on the first time. And I don't want to slow down too much. I just kind of want to sketch. So, okay, so let's come down and draw the mouth. So I'm just going to continue to shade. And then hopefully things will turn out right. As opposed to making guidelines. Guidelines are fine, you know, it's just, but yes, like sometimes you just want to draw, right? I'm running out of space here. Okay. Looks like my face is way off, but okay, let's see if I can salvage this, because it's looking kind of bad right now. So normally, if I was just sketching, and this is the current progress, I probably just rip it up and throw it away. But because I am recording, so hopefully I can salvage this. Hair, it's got really cool hair. Kind of looks like an elf. Sometimes you don't want to give up on a drawing too soon. What you want to do is really just try to push toward it, even though it's bad, because just the whole process of sketching is going to make you better for the next drawing. And there are times where, you know, things start out bad and then you keep going, and then for, you know, sometimes you are able to salvage it, so it does work. But it's the process of drawing, so if you give up too soon, then you're really sacrificing a lot of good practice, good needed practice. And if it's kind of bad and you want to give up on it, well then it's kind of like a really good time to try something different, right? Maybe just keep going and make some shading methods or strokes that you won't normally do. You might come up with something better for the next time around, or you might realize something. Because art, again, it's to me has always been about the process. The final piece is nice, but normally I don't like it when it's done, because what I really like is when I'm actually sketching it and the creativity that goes into that. It's the process that I like, not the final piece. So now I'm just seeing more details and just kind of going for it, because in a way there's nothing to lose. Let's see if I can bring back this nose. Shorter strokes here, just trying to hit those areas, whatever I see. This is very dark here. So with the 6B, you can see how rough it is. You can really see all the texturing, because it doesn't cut that deep into the paper. So you see a lot more little white areas. And then if you really want to cut into it, then you really have to turn in the pencil and just really push into it. Just dab that just to correct little things. My lip is totally off here. So I just dab it. He's got a really big chin, which is really cool for his look, for this character. I'll just dab it if it's wrong. Deep line here. So let's continue on with this side of the face here. Yeah, I know I'm not speaking as much. I'm just kind of sketching. If I slow down, I guess I can be a little bit more instructional, but it's meant to be a quick sketch. So I'm constantly looking back and forth, that's why. So I'm seeing all those little things. Highlight here. Here's a cheekbone. It's got a very unique cheekbone, actually. It comes down here. All right, let's try this way a little bit looser. This kind of wiggly shapes works pretty well in terms of just shading, putting light tones. Let's see, trying to adjust the jawline here. The spacing here. The ear is probably around here. And then the hair is gonna flow down here. So this is gonna be kind of dark here. Okay, so how's that? Let's see, I'm looking at the image. It looks okay, actually. I know it's really rough, but I might be able to salvage this. So a little bit sketchier, this kind of wiggly shapes. Just trying to fill in the gaps here. This needs to be darker because there's a highlight here. So I'm just gonna come down this way. This needs to be darker. I kind of like how this side of the face looks better right now. This is a little bit, feels a little bit too tight, especially the nose. I think this is, yeah, something seriously wrong here. Yeah, this is weird right here. So good thing with the 6-speed, you can just dab it. It's nice and soft. This lip is way off. Lip needs to go up. Okay, let's come back here. Maybe we can shade this a little bit better here. So it's really rough. So let's get rid of that. I'm just gonna dab it. Let's start over. Now let's see if I can clean this up here. It's got those, again, very unique cheekbones. So right here, I'm just shading the hair, and by shading the hair, it's gonna bring out the whole jawline right here. Darker here. Might need to sharpen up my pencil here. It's really dull. Sure, with this black areas right here over the eye. I guess it is socket. It's got a very unique socket. There's a shadow here. See, right here. So all this is in the shade. Darker. That's a real mess over here. Okay, let's try some of this so hopefully we can salvage this part of the face. So here's the ear, here's the hair, coming down, come up here. Yeah, it doesn't look as weird once you have this part. Hair. Comes up this way. Okay, I'm not gonna go up any further. So I'm just shading like little blocks and just kind of connect little patches here and there. There is a point, in the drawing where it gets too muddied and it just gets darker and darker, right? Because as you shade, it just gets darker and darker, and it gets to a certain point where it's just a total mess, kind of like what I had earlier. In that case, then you just kind of dab it and just try to get rid of, some of the lines. I got my pencil a little bit sharper. Hopefully I can clean certain areas up, or just kind of continue shading and hopefully things will get better. Sometimes it does get too muddied. This lip shape is pretty cool. So now that my pencil is sharper, I can come in and hit those smaller details. So I can bring in that look because he's got a really cool look right here. Very sharp line here. Here's the Terminator. His chin's cool right here too. So here's the Terminator here. There's a little line here. So here's the Terminator, and then it kind of get a lot of light on the bounce lighting. Looks like his chin needs to be a lot wider. Let's fix that. Yeah, so that means this is not wide enough. So sometimes, I guess part of the reason why you don't want to make things darker and darker is because, like the shadow area, you can actually leave it lighter. It's a little bit more artistic. And I think it's a little bit easier to draw too, because you don't have to keep pushing darker and darker tones, and it just becomes a mess at a certain point. So like here, maybe I'll just leave it a little bit lighter. I don't know. That actually looks okay. Exaggerate the bounce lighting a little bit more, I think. Let's see, but there is detail in the lip here. More shading here. All this on the bottom is gonna be dark, so I can just shade out, pop up the chin, pop up the jawline. Okay, so I think the smaller detail is kind of helping. Just fixing some of the area. Yeah, I notice this video won't be as instructional. Hopefully you'll kind of have fun just watching, I guess. Watching somebody else draw. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is salvageable. It is a 6B, so I can go back and erase stuff. And, you know, there are certain elements that I do like, so maybe this does work. But it's gonna take a lot more shading. I'm gonna put my head over it and see if I can salvage this. And hopefully I have a much better drawing at the end. Alright, I'm back, and here is my final drawing for Daemon here. So a lot more sketching, a lot of fixes, unfortunately, especially on the nose. It was really weird, and there's a lot of little things, shading, that I really need to fix in order to make it look like a nose. It was kind of messy at the beginning. So again, 6B, just shorter strokes, really sharp, and just kind of go in and fine tune every area. You know, after I adjusted for the features and stuff. I suppose it could be a little bit more artistic, but I just kind of try to shade it as I see it. So it's not as exciting. It just doesn't have the contrast. It's a little bit muddy. Hopefully I can, you know, be a little bit more deliberate and cleaner next time. Okay, so overall I think this is an okay drawing. So hope you guys like this, and I'll see you guys next time.